you would put this like in here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would use your needle. You would start like poking, keeping your fingers out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the more you poke, the more the wool combines together.
Yeah.
And then it starts to get really nice and tight, and then it'll stay.
All right, Jennifer McCarthy. We're going to go with Jen. We're going with Jenny.
Yep,
Jennifer,
all of them.
And all of them.
Yeah.
The Felted Bee is the name of the brand,
Yes.
right?
Yep, that's my brand.
Yep.
Yep.
Do people sometimes even just call you the Felted Bee?
Yes, absolutely. And then, like I'll drag my husband along with me to all this stuff, and he's like Mr. the Felted Bee. So, yeah, no one even knows our name. So, yeah. We're just the Felted Bee people.
Where did the Felted Bee name come from?
I was with my friends one night, and I was actually, at the time, I had bees. I was a beekeeper. So I was like trying to incorporate the wool and the wax and all that kind of together. And my friend's like, you should just be the Felted Bee. So she came up with the name.
No kidding.
Yep,
so you no longer have the bees?
No longer have the bees.
But you do encaustic still?
Yep. That was part of the whole thing too, is like doing the encaustic, and I was like, oh, maybe I can get some beeswax like from the bees.
Yep.
And bring that in, but yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work?
No, it's a lot of work being a beekeeper, and then doing your artwork too. So this kind of took over, and the bees kind of went to
you
the
got to pivot and move in a direction, right?
Right.
But at least you still have an interesting name, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you're still working with encaustics and with is it the felting, is that strictly wool, or like, because I know nothing,
right?
Except for the little bit of information you've given me already when me and Jackson stopped by.
Yep. So depending on what type of like process you're using, so if we're looking at this picture, that is wool, all wool.
Yep.
And then this one over there, that is wool, silk, and there's probably like some viscose in that. So this is just needle felting. So they would call it like dry felting, or you're just using a needle. Mm-hmm. The little picture is wet felting, so using water, soap, and agitation. So you're using like your hands.
What's the soap do?
It's like glue. It acts to bind the fibers together at the beginning, just to kind of get them to stick. And then when you agitate, like using your hands, or you use like bubble wrap or different like tools, the fibers start to bind together. Mm-hmm. Wool has little scales on it, so if you look at it under a microscope, there's little scales, and when I talk about it like they're having like a party, like they kind of like, woo, they bubble up and then they lock in together, and then when they're locked together, they don't want to come back apart. Mm-hmm. So wool will stick to itself and bind to itself. So that's how you can get like scarves and things with like wet felting, and then with the needle felting, you use a needle, but the wool just binds to itself. So it's kind of magic.
You make scarves and all these? So you're making all sorts of different things with the wool?
Yes. Yeah. And like home goods, like what do you call this? Coasters, bowls, things like that. So more like things you'd use in your home, and then clothes and scarves, and then then just decorative stuff like needle felted. That's a paint, like I would consider this a painting, and then like these are like little sculpture-y guys. So yeah.
So I'm trying to think. So that it's functional. Some of it's like functional art, kind of like the mugs,
right?
In a sense,
right. And I mean, traditionally too, like hundreds and thousands of years ago, people would make wool felt to make clothing and like blankets and bowls and things like that, just to have, to live their lives. So that's like traditionally how wool felt became like a thing.
Now, how did you fall into like this? Were you a traditional artist prior, or were you like just always into knitting? Or how does one? What's your story? Like, how do you fall into this whole?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, my mom was a really awesome knitter, and only used wool. So like no acrylic. Had wool was like the best. So I just kind of grew up with wool, and I went to school for like painting and like a studio art. And then I was an art teacher, elementary art teacher for 16 years. And one time we were supposed to like do some professional development. So I was like, oh, I'll take this like felting class. I had no clue what it was. I think at one point I'd bought like a really chintzy kit on Amazon, and it was like really bad, and I had no clue what I was doing. So I went to this class, and I was thinking, look, oh, maybe I can do this with the kids at school. And I walked up and I pulled out this needle that was like this long, and I was like, oh no, I can't do this with the kids. But I had no clue what it was, and I just started doing it, and it was really fun. And I would just make like things around like the holidays, like little sculptures and ornaments like for like my family. And then I just started like teaching the needle felting outside of school, and people just kept getting more interested in it. So this just kind of evolved.
In the classes you do are up at the Wright Building in your space.
Yeah, I do classes there, all over South Shore, in the city, Boston. I'm like, we're going in town. Yeah. Boston. It's North Shore sometimes too. So all over.
You have a couple like associations that you offer classes through, or you?
Yeah, usually through like yarn shops or libraries, Council on Aging, places like that. Like this weekend, I'll be at the New England Fiber Festival, so I teach a lot at like fiber festivals too. So that's like a big.
Has this always been like a big thing, and I wasn't aware of it, or is it growing in popularity? Because I feel like I see a lot more artwork now that is not like traditional like paint. Right. Like I feel like fiber art, or like just things with I don't even know how to describe it because I'm not.
Textile.
but like textile art. You know, I feel like there's, and maybe that's just with like the growing popularity of some of the people that are teaching it and their success, but that it's coming onto my radar. But has it always been kind of its own world, or?
I think definitely it's been its own like little niche thing, little world. And I definitely think, I mean, from my perspective, I think during COVID, it became like bigger too. And I think like with, like, I want to say like, especially with like textile art and stuff, like repurposing things. Like, you can go to like Savers and get a sweater and felt it down and make like a purse or, repurpose it in some way. So I think that as well, that's
a driving factor.
And it's when I go to these like fiber festivals, they're huge. I just went to one in like upstate New York, like in just outside like Poughkeepsie. I mean, there were like hundreds of thousands of people there. It was, you couldn't even move. Yeah, I'm like, what is happening? And it's large. Like there's like farmers there, and then there's producers.
Like the raw materials at a fiber festival, or is there people like yourself set up like showing artwork
from beginning to end, like from the wool. I was gonna say cows. Oh my god, the sheep from to the end, like yarn dyers. It's crazy, and it's really awesome to see that, like from the beginning to like what it is made into. So it's really this great like process to see all this. And then I'm a part of a group, the Southeastern New England Fiber Shed, and they are really trying to keep all these like fiber people like together, so like we can all like produce and like use just locally. So it's like real local driving force too. I think there's a lot of people that are in these groups that like buy from each other, try to help each other. There's like a real problem right now in the United States. There's not enough fiber mills. So if anybody wants like a good job, you should get a fiber mill, because people are desperate because they have tons of sheep and tons of wool, alpaca. And then there's nowhere to process it, so they're just throwing it out in their fields. So if it's like a huge thing.
That's super interesting to me. Well, I look at like some of the, like the collage work and, in paint, just to put it in like an art sense. I look at like the collage work, and it's like, it's so much better and more interesting if it's like, like a handmade paper or something like that, and it really, I know, where all the things are created from, opposed to like, all right, well, I just tore this out of a magazine and stuck it on,
Right.
because it feels more like a part of the creative process. So like knowing that like you got the wool from, like knowing where all the pieces or the raw materials came from, I think is super cool.
Right, and I think a lot of people that are really like good knitters and crocheters, like they're really interested in that. They like ask you like, where do you get your wool?
Yep.
Like, is it locally sourced? So that's like it's a big like popular thing right now.
So where do you get?
I get it from like all over the place. Like I scrounge. Most of where I get it from is the wool is from a mill in New Hampshire. But I do, like this weekend, I'll buy some
At the festival.
So
like
upstate
trying
New
out
York.
new sources and stuff.
Yeah, new colors. So there's lots of like people that dye in different ways, and so it's kind of interesting.
So obviously the color is a factor when you're making like your selection of the wools. I mean, it's like picking out your paints, I guess.
Yeah.
But is there also like, do different wools have like different, like, I don't know, gravity? Yeah.
The crimp. Yep.
The crimp. That's
crimp,
what it's called.
Yeah, the crimp. The kind of like in your hair, the curliness of it.
Yep.
So different sheeps have different hair lengths, and some are better for like wet felting, so something that's like flat and things like that, softer, and then wool's really coarse and it's made for like rugs. So like
and when
really
you go
durable.
when you're at the festival and you're talking to these like sheep farmers,
yeah,
are they aware too, or is it like this is like if you're felting or so they're selling them okay
Yep.
that's
a
different it's outside of my radar.
Oh yeah, I had no clue. I had like a book when I started. I think I had like a needle felting book, and I had like one needle. And I was like, I had a bunch of wool, and I had no clue. And then I started getting into all this like Fiberfest stuff, and I was like, I had no clue. It's huge. It's really huge. It's amazing to me. Like you have no clue until like you're in it.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, when I see like the pottery too, and like the people getting like, I don't know, is it the clay or mud? Like getting it from different sources, and like all those things having different.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so zoned in, and like these little nuances of like different materials is super interesting.
Yeah, and I think too, like depending on what you're making too, like do you want it like more rough? Do you want it really smooth? Like all these different factors play into what you're making, and how you want it to look in the end.
Yep.
So.
And is there a lot of experimenting too to figure that out?
Yeah, and I love the experimenting part too. And I still take classes and everything like that because I feel like I don't know everything at all. But and like trying different wools out from different farmers and different sheep, and even this past like summer I was dyeing some wool with my friend. She dyes yarn. So we're like, let's try dyeing like just the fiber, like this part. So trying that out, and it came out great. So we're gonna try to do some more, and because that's people like that too. They like it's one of a kind.
Yep. No, I think that makes it so much more interesting than like this little octopus like that you made is opposed to like a mass-produced, like similar looking,
Right. Yeah, and you can change it up every time with different colors and things like that. So, it's crazy.
It is. So, you're at the Wright Building.
Yeah.
Are you in there full time? Do you have a?
Yep, full time. Like I could be there 24/7 and just not even get to everything that I want to get done.
Yep.
So, I have to make myself take a break.
And people can just pop in there when
Yeah, I usually like write on my like Instagram or on my website like the days that I'm going to be there like during the day.
Yeah.
But first Wednesday of every month the bunch of people in the building are open for open kind of like open studios like shopping and things like that.
Is that 5 or 6 to 8 or?
Yep, 5:30 to 8:30.
5:30 to 8:30.
Yep. Yeah, so our next one's coming up like in a couple weeks. So
yeah, but a week from
I know.
today. Yeah.
How did that happen?
So is that
It's the 5th.
Yeah, the 5th of November would be the first.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you guys, that's gonna keep rolling. I knew that was when Jeannie was on. I felt like that was like it was something you guys were just kind of rolling out.
Yep. So we're gonna keep going, especially I think through especially like November and December. So if people are like interested in like shopping or shopping local and things this year, so we'll be open those days. So
and then the big open studios that's twice a year, and that's coming up at the end of the month or end of November.
End of November. So. So it's the 22nd and 23rd of November, and it's 12 to 5 both days. So people were there last night. Like I left at like 7, and usually it's pretty quiet. There's no one in the parking lot, and I left last night and the parking lot was full, and I was like, oh, everyone's getting ready.
Yep.
So it'll be good. It'll be nice to see like a lot the building filled up with the artists. So it'll be nice.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been in the Wright Building?
It'll be a year in February. So I just moved over there.
Mm-hmm. It's a great spot. I mean, you like the community aspect over there.
Yeah, it's lots of community, lots of people like trying to work together. Like Zarla and I, of course, want to make. I watched her video the other day. I was like, oh yeah, we want to make that paper together. So yeah, working together and collaborating, and then just kind of like helping each other do what we want to do and like get our names out. And it's just nice to have people that are there a lot and that want to work with you and want to promote the building and promote each other. So it's really nice.
No, I think it's a great community. I was excited when we had the Dina coordinated the show with Jeannie to here. I picked up that. I picked up that piece.
Yep,
I think that was great.
Nice.
Tuned it up a little bit with the frame.
I know, yeah. When I took my encaustic classes, the teacher was like, I never frame anything. She's like, I just leave it like blank. She's like, because I feel like, she's like, I think that looks like the frame or whatever. So I just kind of led from that. So
who did you take the encaustics
from? Dietland Vanderschaff.
Okay.
I don't know if she's from Maine, and she used to come down to the South Shore Art Center a lot.
Okay.
But I've taken a couple classes from her, and then Leslie Giuliani. She's in Connecticut. So just like out of New York City. So those are like two of the people that I've like worked with and like learned from. So really
and
nice.
how do you decide when you go in?
Yeah.
What you're gonna work on, if it's gonna be encaustics or if it's gonna be fiber?
Yep. So fiber is like 11 months of the year, and then encaustic is like January. So after the big like rush of like the holidays with the fiber, I stop, and then I'll do the painting for like January, and then it just rolls right back into fiber.
So is it just a break for you in the sense?
Yeah. And and I always there's so much in the back of my head that I'm like, okay, I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, I got to wait till January. To like do all this stuff. So it's like a little break. And
so it's not you're not going in today and like, oh, what am I going to work on? No. You're going to go in focused on the fiber.
Yeah, because so I make like the little sculptural pieces and things like that. But then I also have like the kits. So I make like needle felting kits, and I'll bring those this weekend. But I have those in stores, and I have like wholesale orders for those too. So I sell those like all across the country. So
nice.
I do a lot of that. Like,
does the brand name help with that? Like the felted, is that like is it under that brand?
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Felted bee. Yep. Yeah. So that's like doing all that is like my main like job, I guess.
Yeah. So you send out so what comes in a kit?
Yeah.
If I was to pick up a felted, sure. If you're up
sure.
for it.
So this is like a really easy beginner one, and you can have this one. You can have it, and you can bring it home with you if you like. So in a kit, so this is like my absolute beginner kit here. So in a kit there is wool. Like I like to put a lot of wool in there, so you can make a bunch of stuff. So there's the wool here. This one comes with a little. cookie cutter, which is like a good way for like people to get into this, and also for like children, because it kind of helps you get a nice little. You can get a nice little guy there.
Yeah.
And you get 3 felting needles, so it comes in this little like pack there. So you have 3 online tutorial. So I teach you how to make the project from start to finish.
Nice. So it's like a video that that explains the process and what to do.
Yep. And then
awesome.
There's a block of foam in here to work on, because you don't want to work on your table or your lap or anything, because you don't want to poke yourself like with the needle. So just to show you like what the needles kind of look like. But yeah, each of my kits have all these things, so that you can watch the video a bunch. So here's a needle.
Yeah.
And then so you get 3 needles just in case you break one.
Yep.
They're different sizes too, but just in case you like break one or something, you've got a couple more there. And yeah, it teaches you everything that you need to, to get started. So, and then you can reuse your needles and everything like that. So, so it's good. So you can kind of keep that and keep working on that. So I'll put that out of the way.
So essentially you put the fabric over the block, and then you're just pushing like other stuff right into it.
Yeah. So this is like a painting one that I think I showed you kind of like before at the ET Wright Building.
Yep.
But this is, you would put this like in here, and then you would use your needle, and you would start like poking, keeping your fingers out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the more you poke, the more the wool combines together.
Yeah.
And then it starts to get really nice and tight, and then it'll stay. So it does take a while, especially when it's in like just wool.
So is that therapeutic? Like just the stabbing
stab
of
therapy. Yeah. That's what I call it, stab therapy. So the more you poke, the better you feel.
So do you have like for the videos, do you have like a YouTube channel like showing it, like you doing all this stuff, or is that like
Yeah, they're all like I have a couple that are like you can just watch, but most of them are like under like lock and key.
Yeah.
Kind of like you have to have the
password to get in there.
So yeah. But there's a few on my YouTube channel that you can just watch.
Yep.
And you can make something.
Yeah, I think of like my daughter watching some strange video, like I don't know what would they even call them, but like videos that are But I can imagine like the stabbing of the needles being one of
sure. And there are like
those type of videos.
On the videos, yeah. There are videos that you can just watch. There's a million of them. So I was like, try to make it like a little bit more exclusive when you buy my kit, that you get the
membership almost.
Yep. Yeah, and I do have a subscription club too, so if people, if you're interested in doing that too.
What's the subscription club? Like when you come out with a new design or?
Yeah, every other month, new design, and then, you get shipped right to your house, and you get like, first access, and I give you little like goodies in your little kit. So, and then sometimes I never release the kit to the public. Just, if I want to keep it, just nice for the people in the subscription club. So
yeah, that's
nice.
cool. So you almost have your, you have your community at the Wright Building, but you're starting your own like little Felted Bee community as well.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of people that like do that subscription club like every year, so it's really nice to like see people coming back, and they always tell me like there's this like 2 sisters, like we get our kits and we get together and then we like sit and we make it, and then I want to see all of them together because they say that they look completely different. Like each one looks completely different than the other one. So I'm like, I'd love to see them all side by side, like lined up.
That's cool. Do you have a forum where the people that are in in that community can like talk to each other and stuff?
I tried to do that, and then nobody really.
No, it didn't take off.
Didn't take off. I've also tried to do like at the Wright Building like nights where bring your project or bring any project. We'll just sit and hang out and like
crafting
chat. And that didn't take off either. So I was like, I don't know, I'll try it again like in the new year. Like I think the year, you know, everything gets busy, but like January, February is really kind of slow for a lot of people. So it might be nice to have something like that, and it gets people out. You know,
for sure. I think that you know, I guess patience is one thing, right? To like set up and do it,
right?
And hope that people show up, but.
Yeah, and then if I know it's happening, and I'll just kind of people might come into like a messy studio, but but there's definitely spaces in the Wright Building too, like that I could just hang out.
Yep.
So there's like a kind of like a community room that she kind of has now on the first floor that people are like having more classes.
Is that where the yoga classes and stuff are? Like right off of the bookstore?
Right off the bookstore.
That's the room?
Yep. Yeah.
If you walk in and take the right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yoga, and then there's some people doing some other things there, like I think somebody just the other day did like a little like quilt project, which was really cute. So it's nice to be able to utilize that space and have that space for people if they want to do a project or something outside of their studios, because I do know people have some messy studios.
Yeah, no, well, I think that's also a great way to engage, like, bringing people in and like, in like that whole community aspect of things, I think that's an awesome thing that you guys have up there.
Yeah. And it's nice, that she is having the person that came in is from outside of the community. But I was like, it was great for me, because I was like, oh, I want to like learn how to do this. And it's nice because I don't have to go anywhere. I'm just right there. I'm like, yes, it's so nice. Just everything inside this building. I'm like, all we need now is like a canteen. Like, I never have to leave.
Yeah. Get a food truck, to show up once a day.
Yeah, right? Just roll by. I'm like, hey, get a little something.
That's cool. Now, I feel like I've seen, even before I met you, because actually I didn't even make the connection that that when I bought that painting that
that was me.
I think I knew of I knew of some of your products, from the Felted Bee, that brand, because I think I've seen it over at Local Pottery.
Yep.
What are some of the other places where people can find your stuff if they don't?
Frost and Found in Duxbury, and though that's the only places I have like the finished pieces. The kits, I have them a lot more, because I can make those faster. It's hard to make the sculptures. So like different yarn shops, like Plymouth Harbor Knits down in Plymouth, fresh picked vintage down like Manomet, so it's like way down. And I'm just trying to think any place else like around. Oh, so in the city, like we're in Rosendale, tight knit, yarn shop, Boston Fiber.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the.
Yeah, now I'm like trying to think. I'm like, where do I have all my stuff? Yep. So yeah, a lot of like yarn places, and then like more like I do the kits like wholesale, so they're like I have them like all over Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York,
and then
Alaska. People
can find more stuff about is there a website, just Felted Bee, I assume?
Yeah, feltedbee.com, and on Instagram at the Felted Bee. So I'm always posting like videos, and where like I post like a ton, so where I'm going to be and things that we're doing and classes and things like that. So
nice.
Always kind of promoting, and then kind of helping other people too, like promoting like the stores that I'm in, and like different like other like fiber artists that I like, trying to like help them out and just spread the word, because maybe somebody that follows me might not follow somebody else, so it's kind of nice to do that. And it's like a nice community. The fiber community too is pretty like helpful, and try to like help each other. It's because it's mostly like women. Even the sheep farmers are mostly women, so it's kind of like a nice like women owned like community.
What's the other ones too? Like I feel like I've seen like it looks like almost like a tattoo gun, and like that is that?
They're making like rugs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like crazy.
Tufting?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't get into any of that.
No, but I saw that. I was like, oh my god, that's like crazy, and they like have it all in there. There was somebody doing it like a couple weekends ago at the Rhinebeck Fiber Fest. There, she was just doing it. making the little rugs.
It's wild. I mean, I think it's a cool, different form of art, and it's interesting to see. Like I've seen some rugs in art shows, and I'm trying to think. My friend Mary, what was that? The hook ruggers, or
I know rug hooking.
Yeah,
I did that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's fun too, because that's pretty artsy as well. Like there's like some pretty famous artists like doing like rug hooking, and I think too, like back to the kind of that art portion of it, it's like if it's kind of like a traditional like female kind of art, but people are kind of like bringing it back around. So I almost feel like, people are like, oh, it's like an act of resistance by like, like using these fibers and keeping it kind of local. So
no, nice I love that. I love the local aspect. I love the community aspect. I think that's great, and knowing it's, all like handmade is awesome.
Right.
And then how about on the encaustic pieces? Do you mainly just sell those out of your space? And do you enter them into shows or some of the local art associations, or is that?
Hull. I would do a lot of Hull like Artists Association one.
Do you have stuff down at the gallery in Encaustic too?
No, not anymore. But I used to like.
Okay. Maybe that's another spot that I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. I had there before. It's just hard to like keep up with trying to get these like pieces everywhere. Yep. And then they buying, and people are like, I want more. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, what do I focus on, the kits or the finished pieces? I'm like, I don't know. So I get this like pull a lot, like which way to go.
Well, it's probably nice to pop up into a place like that for a while, and it gets people a little bit, like
that's true.
like myself. Like I feel like, I love Lisa's place, Local Pottery, and I know that was one of the spots I've seen it, but probably I probably saw the little bee symbol, at Gallery Nantasket when I've been down there.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw. Did you have something like Ritual Yoga too or something?
Yeah.
Like I feel like so I feel like I've seen the name, and
Yeah. And actually at Ritual Yoga, she has like a little wall where she has like local artists hang their stuff. So I've sold like a bunch of paintings off of that wall too.
Is it mainly paintings that you have there? Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. But I think I did a pop up there once. She was doing like a holiday like pop up. So I did.
I feel like I've seen I've seen the maybe I'm just paying attention or
just up more in your feed or something more.
But but it's I think it's a cool form of art, and I'm excited seeing other people, use it, and especially when I end up seeing them in frames at places like it's
kind of gives it like a more higher end feel.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like, they like look at my stuff and they're like, oh, like why does that bear cost so much money? I'm like, well, it took me like 2 hours to make, but because it isn't like encaustic and it's not in a frame, then it's like somehow like less.
Yeah.
Which, everyone can have their opinion, but I'm like, I look at that and I think, oh, I like almost like the bear more than I like this painting, so.
They're like mini little sculptures.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I'm assuming these guys are little ornaments, or
you can put a string through anything and make an ornament. So they're super popular around the holidays too because of that. So I'll be making lots of those in the next couple of months. So trying to like fill some sort of tree, I guess, so I can have it on display like for open studios or something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming by, telling me, giving me a little bit more of a lesson on felting and, in yourself. Yeah. We didn't break that squirrel out. Does that guy have a name?
No, it doesn't. Want to bring him over here?
Yeah, let him say hi.
Yeah, this is one like a bigger thing. So this is like, if I had all the time in the world, this is probably what I would be making, like bigger things like this. But yeah, little squirrel. Everyone loves him, but.
He only comes out once in a while.
No, I'm like, if anybody wants him, he is for sale. I do not like squirrels at all. So So take them, anybody.
All right. Well, I would encourage people to take a peek at the website, the Instagram, see what you're creating, and absolutely stop in the Wright Building. I think it's a great take on first Wednesdays. I'm going to try to make it next week, and I'm definitely looking forward to open studios.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good. It'll be a good one.
I especially love the logo, the front of that card that the Wright Building's using.
I know, so nice. And
I
love
like all
the red.
those I like the red, but look at all those frames. I mean,
right?
I think that's great.
Yeah, promoting you guys too at the Frame Center.
Yeah, well, I love the community up there, and I think that that's just something we need more of, just more community with the arts, and making people aware of the cool stuff that's going on, and like the cool things that they can have, rather than just like mass produced something.
Yeah, and you can make it yourself too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nice thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and I look forward to the next conversation.
Yeah, thank you.